Hey guys, Shakur here with another video. Guys, click this. You're probably wondering, how could you invest? What is investing? Probably a millennial like me, and you just want the dummy version. Today, I'm going to talk about how you can invest and you can make some money. Short-term, long-term investment without the gimmicks. Actual ways. This is like not no scam. Pyramid schemes are not going to be added into this. I'm just going to go through it with you guys, okay? The first thing that comes to mind when it comes to investing is everybody automatically thinks
stock market.
That's one thing that you can do. There are so many different ways you can invest money in your pocket, whether it be long-term, short-term, and we're going to run through it now. First of all, who am I? My name is Shakur Bey, currently active duty in the military, in the Air Force. Been doing this for almost 3 years now. Welcome to my channel, guys. I'm moving on to a finance type of channel. This is something I want to show you guys and talk about. Finances are important, yada, yada, yada. Moving on. What is investing? Investing could be interpreted in like two different ways. You putting money aside for your future, or you trying to get money in your pocket now. And there's so many different ways that you guys can invest. When can you invest? How old do you have to be to invest? Honestly, you can start at a very young age. Putting money aside is a form of investing into yourself. Just having a savings account is one way. However, that's not the only way, and if you are over 18, then there are so many different ways. And lastly, why do you invest? Like I said, people only invest, really try to build their wealth or just add money in their pocket because that's what they want at the time. So yeah, before I get into how you can make money, guys, I just want to say you have to figure out what type of investor you are. If you are a long-term investor or a short-term. In my case, I would like to consider myself a long-term investor, mostly because I'm building my wealth. The amount of money that I have, I'm building it for the future. It doesn't necessarily mean, guys, that you are building for retirement. And yes, I have accounts that help me with my retirement, but being a long-term investor does not necessarily mean just putting money for when you're old, like a bottle of wine. Short-term investors are mostly guys that like to have, short goals. It can be a couple months, a couple days, where they want to try to get money in their pocket, and usually it's for like a quick buck. A lot of times, a lot of people like us, millennials, by the way, I'm 23 years old, totally forgot that. We like to try to get money as fast as possible, less complicated as possible, and just make it simple, because not everybody feel like doing all that talking. Now, some different ways you can invest is the stock market. That is one way. Another way that you can invest in yourself, that's one thing. That's the cliche corny version, but it's kind of true. Educate yourself with money, how it works in general. Another one for you guys is like, oh, this is bull, this that bull. You can invest in gold, properties, stocks, or you can have like your own business. Those are some things that you can personally invest in. Keep that in mind. Now, how can you invest? It all depends on what you are trying to achieve. All right, one way you can make money if you are a short-term investor, buying things like off Craigslist or Amazon or eBay and actually refurbishing the product to raise the value back up, sell it online. That's one way. You can invest in something without really having to get all business and financial with the markets and different savings accounts or whatever. Now, if you actually want to invest in something like the stock market, I don't know why I said it like that. Like the stock market, then you can try apps like Robinhood, Webull. Those are apps you can use to actually invest some money and make some money. A lot of people tend to become
day traders.
Probably wondering, what the hell is a day trader? A day trader is somebody that basically looks at some people, they look at charts, look at companies, see how they're doing in the stock market.
The dummy version.
It's showing how much these companies worth, and you can buy a piece of that company. That's basically what stock market is. You buying a piece of that company and having ownership of that company and its values or its assets or whatever. People buy and sell pieces of their company all the time, and that is part of being a day trader. The problem with that, though, is it get very obsessive. I used to do that, especially last year with Robinhood. It's really hard to really keep track of all these different companies. On top of that, guys, the one bad thing is if you do decide to do that, which you can get wrapped up in it, it's very exciting and fun to see you put money into a company and then the value go up, but sometimes it goes down, and I can make a video about that some other time. But yes, day trading is a way that you can make that money if you're a little bit more bold. And when it comes to investing, guys, the more riskier you are, the more money you can make. And that brings me over to my second thing that you can do as a short-term investor. You can get involved in what they call options trading. Options trading is a little bit more complicated, but the dummy
version of it, guys.
I got you. The dummy version is buying usually around about 100 shares of a company, and you are betting value of a company will be higher higher or lower at this particular date. One example is, say I buy Walmart, a share of Walmart for $100. I do options trading. I'll make double or triple what I'm betting on if Walmart value goes up by Friday, let's say. However, if you bet that money and it goes down and you thought it was going to go up by Friday, then you lose all of your money. And that's one thing I really don't like about option trading, but you make a lot of money by it. I'm not a full supporter of options trading, but that is one short way you can invest, guys, if you want to do that. It could get a little scary. It really is a guessing game because stocks go up and down all the time. If you ever decide to do options trading or day trading, people forget the amount of taxes that you will end up having to pay if you're getting those benefits. So if you decide to sell all your stocks, most likely going to be taxed on that. That is one crappy thing about day trading and option trading and short-term investing. But if you want to get involved in that kind of thing, I would recommend apps like M1 Finance, Robinhood, and Webull. Now for me, my strategy is a long-term investor. I mostly pay more attention to long-term investments and wealth. Now for my guys who are long-term investors, here are some ways that you guys can make money as a long-term investor. You can open what they call a high-yield savings account. Some banks that include Ally Bank or Wealthfront, Bank of America also have like a high-yield savings account, but you can always Google high-yield savings. Anytime you have money into this savings account, it adds a little bit of, oh, I'm gonna spill my coffee. It adds a little bit more money into your account. It can be changed. Before the pandemic, the ratings for it was a little higher. It was more than 1%, but it's better than nothing, guys. Want to add a little bit of money and you are saving your money, I would recommend getting a high yield savings account because that is something that actually had your money move. It would be smarter to have your money move and go up than doing nothing at all. So open a high yield savings account, guys, even though the ratings are kind of low. Another thing is open a CD, also known as a certificate of deposit, and not no like CDs, okay, y'all? We're not talking about the things you could just pop in. We don't even use those anymore. But yes, a certificate of deposit it's almost like a high yield savings account, except you're setting a time frame where that money, it can't be touched. Say I wanted a certificate deposit account. I'll keep putting money into this account, and if I touch that money, then I'll get penalized for it and I'll end up paying a fee. So a certificate deposit is a great way for you guys to also save your money, so that way you're not going to be you're not going to touch it. They also put a little bit of interest into that account as well. So that is a good way to save for my long-term investors. Long-term investor in the stock market, guys. I'm also in the stock market too. The biggest strategy and the best strategy, in my opinion, if you do plan on doing a stock market, I recommend you buy and hold, okay? Buy and hold no matter what. You're going to hear a lot of hype. The media is going to hype things when it comes to companies. The news in general is a factor with just the stock market in general. So people get into this thing where they want to sell whatever they buy. This is where becoming a day trader gets really bad. Any money that they invested into that company, they end up selling it. Next thing you know, that particular company is going to be valued, I don't know, $2,000, like Tesla. A friend of mine had purchased Tesla for like $300 at the time. That's how much it was valued at, a share of Tesla. He decided to sell it. Now Tesla is worth over $2,000, and if he would have just kept his money there, then he would have had a lot of money. That is a prime example on why you should buy and hold. And for my long-term investors, it just beats day trading. Now, if you don't want to buy individual stocks, they do have what they call index funds, guys. And index funds is basically a big old basket of companies for one price, and you're getting little shares of that company. That is a good way to keep things steady. If you're nervous about opening up one of those accounts or stock trading, then you can do index funds, guys. That is a good way to stack up your money as well. You can do this using Acorns. Acorns is a good example because it helps you save that money as well as putting it into index funds. And they use Vanguard index funds, also known as like ETFs, which are exchange traded funds. So a lot to it, and I can make another video if you want to get in depth about what those things are. You can try to buy a property. That is a long-term investment as well, guys. It's the smartest thing you can do. You get more value. It's a lot when it comes to property. You make a lot of money by buying property if you can get a loan. You having a property you can rent out to people. If you have the opportunity to get like a duplex, which is going to be my plan, then you will have people pay that property off and live. You can probably live on the other side. Two more things, guys. You can buy precious metals like gold and silver. A lot of people do that, and if you keep keep it. Long term, you can also sell it. And lastly, start an e-commerce business. The internet is a big place. You can make a lot of money starting an e-commerce business of your own. People go on Amazon, find your stuff. There's so many different ways. If you guys want, I can make a video on how you also can start your own business. Try to make some money as well. If you guys like this video, please give a like down below. It really does help out the algorithm, helps my channel a lot, and subscribe if you haven't already. Love you guys. Comment if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys later.